Welcome to Ellis Mowers and Mower. On today's repair, we've got this big Gravely 260Z with a Kohler engine here in the garage. What it's doing is, as soon as you crank it up, it'll run for 1 second and then it will kill the spark. I'll show you that here in just a second. Let's go ahead and get started and see if we can figure this thing out. So I've got it tucked back here in the garage where the lighting's not quite as good because I honestly don't know how long this is going to take me. But I'm going to show you, I think I just put plugs in this recently. I literally went to see if I could get it started. I started and ran it for 5 minutes or so. Got it up the hill, cut it a little bit, and then all of a sudden, went to start it after I put a battery in it, nothing. Except for this. So it runs for 1 second and then it kills the battery. All the safety switches are intact and all of that good stuff. There was even a relay over here that looks like it would go to some of the safety wires that I put back because they had a separate relay, and it, like I said, it had been running great. So I don't know exactly what the issue is here. This is a 2006 model year, so I can see if I can show you the sticker here a little bit. It's a CV740S right there. It's built in 2006. So I fear that this has got that crazy 12-volt ignition coil system on it that I'm going to have to convert over. That's just decided to, you know, call it quits here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a visual inspection of wires and stuff now. But the way that it's doing it, it's almost, I haven't been able to find like a low oil switch or anything on this thing somewhere, but I know it's got one because it's got a like a little temperature oil light right over here. But that light is no longer lighting up like it usually does. So that's kind of weird that that is not lighting up like it's supposed to anymore. Because usually on the ignition switch, whenever I have this lit, this will light up whenever you turn the key on. It's not doing that anymore. So very strange. I hope it's very simple, but so like when you put that down, park brake, it won't start, or actually it will. That's kind of weird. I don't think I plugged that back in, did I? But actually I did. That's interesting. That won't even crank. But again, one second, literally. So part of me wants to look and maybe cross some wires there at the oil light switch because it could possibly be a shortage there. Let me do a little bit of digging and I'll see if I can find anything. Alright guys, so a bunch of mumbo jumbo here. This is the, I don't know if it's the DSAI or the ASI or something I system. It's one that has to be powered by 12 volts. Now, what's going on here is I wanted to inspect everything, and I didn't have to take all of this off, but literally it's a ton of work. A ton of 8 millimeters, 10 millimeters. You got to take the throttle linkage off, the choke linkage off, and all of that. I'm not going to go through that because in this case I don't think I had to. here is what I want to show y'all real quick that it's doing. I just showed y'all this. I'm going to see if I can get the ignition switch in perspective here as well. So, this is wild. I've seen some crazy stuff here lately, I tell you. But, so let me crank it. Now, as soon as I release the start and put it in the on position, it quit. Watch this. So as long as I hold the, and I'm not going to do this very long because I don't want to burn the starter up, but as long as I hold this in the start position, it'll start, or it'll run. As soon as I take it to the on position is when it stops. So, leads me to think I have a bad ignition switch. Thankfully it's not this whole $140 module thing, which is good, but I wish I hadn't taken all this apart now. I am going to leave it apart just in case we have any issues or anything like that with putting the new ignition switch on. But let me get y'all over to the ignition switch and show you how easy it is going to be to swap out, hopefully. So the ignition switch, pretty easy to swap out, I believe, here. Pull this. Literally we just got to unscrew it right there. If this is a generic switch, I might have one that we can try out. Probably not though, these probably got a bunch of terminals on it. There's a 1/2 inch on this side right here, and you got 3 5/16. You don't have to take the choke and the throttle linkage screws off. But if we raise this up, I'm just happy it's not the DSAI or whatever ignition system. You get up under here, and it's just a 5-terminal plug here. Unscrew it. Oh, I can probably wire a switch to make this work. If it's just a little 5-terminal plug, we could probably make this work here. I don't know if I got labels and stuff on it, but I may just order a switch. But yeah, that's pretty much all you got to do. So I'm going to look at all my ignition switches to see if we have one that'll work here. Of course, there's no labels on this one, so it's going to be a little bit of a guessing game. But let's see. Like I said, I think that's all it is. I also crossed the oil switch just to make sure there's like no continuity running through the light and some crazy mess like that, but it is simpler than I think it is, thankfully. So let me see if I can find a switch. Alright guys, I have done lots of research here, and what I found out is this is the DSAI ignition system setup, which is actually good because I can just direct swap these to traditional ignition coils, which I have done already, as you can see, or maybe not. But there's no 2-prong plugs anymore. They don't have to have 12 volts to operate. Now, given all that, I still gotta, I don't have the 2 exact coils. I've got to swap this one back over. But what's this DSAI module is also doing, because I even tried replacing diodes just to make sure that it wasn't a bad diode, because I've seen that is potentially an issue as well. That didn't do anything. So we've got diodes. One of them goes to the 12 volt for the ignition here. The other one goes to the fuel shutoff solenoid. So I got to pull the fuel shutoff solenoid off of the bottom of the carb bowl here and cut it off. And of course that's buried way down in here. I'm going to have to probably take this plate off maybe, which is just a couple of 9/16, and then get up in there and cut it off. What it's doing is whenever you release it off of the start, it was killing the spark and it's killing the fuel going in. So it'll run for like a couple of seconds now, but it won't stay running because it is killing the fuel shutoff solenoid as soon as you release the key and put it in the run position. So it'll bring up enough fuel for a couple seconds and then it'll shut back off. So, whew. Alright, so 9/16 to get this plate off. I think I can access it even though this little Kohler plate is right here. I think I can get up under there and take that and get it cut off. Hopefully. We've got this thing broke down hard, y'all. I really need to get it back together today, too. Alright, so let me get over here to the fuel shutoff solenoid. Thing about a big machine in the garage, it just makes a mess, especially with the small garages I have. So this is the little piece here for the shutoff. I took a 3/4 and got the jet and the whole assembly out here, and then you have to take another 3/4 to split the jet and the bottom piece, and then that just slides out, and you shouldn't have to worry about it after that because that goes down into this plunger here. And let me see here, and it's supposed to do that, as you can see. So I'm going to just take this out completely. We're going to put it all back together, see if it'll run on its own and then shut off on its own after I've done this. This is good. This is really good. It idles. I'm going to check spark on the other side, but we've got good spark going on. Idle's good. The throttles are all messed up because I had to take all the plates and stuff off of it, but there we go. It's running. That's good. And it shuts off on its own too. So let me get a little bit of a wire harness there. Let me check the spark on the left side. If that's good, we're going to put everything back together. I'm going to gap these coils accordingly with a business card, and we're going to get this thing back together and get it out of here. Okay, so I've swapped it to 2 light ignition coils here. They are OEM Kohlers. They came off of an engine. And we'll see if I can get y'all the number here off of it. Looks like a 13. Let's see, a 1303201821 ignition coil, 1831 ignition coil. These are a little bit. Here we go. So if you can see those numbers there, let me get a focus on them. 130320 is what's going to be what you're looking for. 130320 for these ignition coils. The red wires and stuff basically become irrelevant now because I've gotten rid of the fuel shutoff switch. We're not using the DSAI spark module anymore either. So those are all done. So I can pull this ignition coil out. These coils aren't bad. I can use them again. But the module definitely is. I guess it's just, there's no low oil switch or anything on here from what I can tell. So what I think has happened is just failed internally. When you start it, it takes a second for it to kick on the spark, and then as soon as you release the key, it gets really weak. I didn't notice it was really weak until I got to that point. So there's a lot to put this engine cover back together. I think I showed y'all how to take it off. But I'm going to try and get this thing all back together, buttoned up here. Again, this stuff is pretty irrelevant now, so I may just even cut these wires and diodes completely out. That way we don't have to worry about them contacting anything. Well, they're dead wires, so it doesn't really matter anymore. So get all that back together and hopefully be done with this thing very, very shortly. And like I said, a lot of stuff to get this engine cover back on, but we'll get it. Well, it ain't perfect, but it's running, driving, and cut, and that's a good thing. I'll run it up and down the thing here for a second. Y'all hear it's kind of stumbling a little bit? This engine does smoke a little bit too, so that's why you're seeing a little bit of smoke come out of it. This thing hasn't been very well taken care of, as of recent anyways, and it's been very, very well used. So what have I done here? So I have, these are things that I do not like to do, but I've got to get this mower out of here very, very soon. So here's what I have done. I have, what did I do? For the charging, it didn't charge after I got everything back together, so I'm wondering if this DSAI module had something to do with that too. And so what I had to do, and it's something that I don't like to do, but it's a surefire way that the thing will charge, is that I have this wire right here running directly from the positive for the voltage regulator to the positive battery terminal. I could put a fuse in it to help protect it a little bit more, but it's pulling about 13.6, 13.7 volts now, so I mean, it's doing what it needs to. And what else have I done here? I think that was about it that I haven't covered. Again, the ignition coils, if this is like a, I don't know if the DSAI, I believe they're spark advance, so I think that's why it may be running just a tad rich, especially when it's not at full throttle, because it's not actively changing the ignition timing on it. So it does seem to start fine. This mower's always been a little tough to start, but it had the issue of it cutting out every once in a while, like a cylinder would cut out or would start running really, really strange every once in a while. And then when I was over there the last time, it just died, where it would only run if you held the key in the start position. So crazy, but let's see if it'll start back up here. yeah, so what I might do, I'm going to throw the battery on a charger because I did knock it down to about 12.3 trying to crank this thing earlier. And I think I may swap the voltage regulator back on it, but man, I'm thankful that this thing's back. This thing is huge and it's been in my way. And I thought the diodes would fix it, but then after I put the diodes in and saw that there was still a weak spark, I knew that it was probably that module over there. So I was trying to figure out with what I had here how I could get this thing back going, because where this mower goes, the grass was high when I brought this mower in 2 weeks ago, and now we've got a bunch of rain and stuff. Who knows what it looks like now, but it's going again, which is good. Just need to do a few things to it. So I think we're done with this video, at least. Diagnosing this, and fix is a loose word here to get it back going, but I think we did. Hopefully I don't have to see this mower again for a long time. Alright guys, so there you go. Gravely 260Z came in with only would spark when the key was in the start position, and thinking it may be some diodes from reading some forums. Tried the diodes, that didn't change anything, and then I realized that it had that weak spark on it in the on position, which probably was enough to keep it going, and then it was getting intermittent while it was running. So that makes a lot of sense as to why I had a cylinder dropping out here and there, even before the module bricked itself. So, given all that, what did we do? We basically bypassed the DSAI module by putting, I believe they're MDI coils or traditional coils in this. The only side effect is the mower seems to be running a little rich, especially at low RPMs. It's fine at high RPMs, it seems. So, like I said, it may be just a very, very minute timing change. Although, when I read forums, it didn't look like it was enough to really make a difference. It's running, it's got plenty of power. Cutting, blades are engaging like they're supposed to. Like I said, it's just running a tiny bit rich now, I think, from what I can gather. And it seems like it likes to have what am I trying to say? Likes to be started on full throttle too. So I'm going to let this sit overnight, get it out of the way. Probably throw it on the trailer for now just to get it out of the way. And then tomorrow morning I'm going to come out and crank it up. Hopefully get it ready to go and send it on its way. This isn't exactly how I wanted to fix it, but if y'all know, Kohler doesn't make the DSAI modules, or DSAM, one of them two, anymore. You have to retrofit it anyways, and the kit's like $140, and it basically accomplishes the same thing that I just did with 2 ignition coils I pulled off of a Husqvarna with a Kohler V-twin. I don't know timing-wise if that makes any difference. I don't know everything. If y'all know anything related to this, please put it in the comment section. I'd love to hear feedback, but also make it so that we know exactly what needs to be done when something like this happens. For me, I'm just on a very big time crunch right now, trying to get people's stuff out, because stuff keeps coming in, and this being down for a couple weeks is a long time when you have a lot of grass to cut and it's been wet. So hopefully we got all this figured out good enough. Let it do its thing. May have to throw a little bit more gas in it, but it should be okay. Thank y'all very much for watching this small engine repair video. I hope that y'all enjoyed it, that y'all found it helpful. And if there's anything that I didn't do that y'all think needs to be done on this machine, please let me know. Although I think we've got it as good as we're going to get it, considering the age and the condition that this is. and what all we had to do to get this thing running and essentially charging again by basically bypassing that DSAI module. Thanks again, y'all. I'll catch y'all on the next video.